All right. Well, hello, everybody. This is Monday, September 13th, our author call. And I just want to give a few short updates. We're still working on the cover design. I know on our last call, we had some ideas of how to take all of the different concepts and converge them into one amazing design. So I don't have anything to show you yet, but I know we're getting close. I also want to let you know that the submission deadlines are extended. Honestly, Christine, I believe you're the only one that has your story done. And we also have 2 front cover spots left. I don't know if anybody met Candy Lee on one of the last calls, but there's something that came up with her dog. I know she was on one of the calls, and she's going to postpone her involvement into the next book. And so that leaves 2 front cover spots. And then I think we have 4 back cover spots left. So realistically, we still have a good month to get stories together as well as bios. As soon as we have a better idea of what those dates will be, we'll let you know. Christine, if you want to get your story edited right away and your bio edited, if you feel that it's like as best as you can make it and you want to just get it off your plate, go ahead and I will make sure Jessica reaches out to you with the links to go ahead and get that taken care of. Or better yet, you can go to the author resource page and the links are there for story submission. So we've broken it up into different components this time where the different pieces go in different forms. So you don't have to like submit it all at one time. You could submit the story in one form and the bio in another form and your lead magnet in another form. But all of those different links are very easily defined on the author resource page. The other thing that I want to talk about is our bio. Now, on the author resource page, I do have a training that will, or links that will take you to, basically it's just a blog article that I wrote about how to write your professional bio. There are also links to quite a few good examples. So I know sometimes for things like that, it helps me to see what other people have done and then use that as the framework to fit in my criteria. And so that may be a good fit for you to create your professional bio. Another option, and this is something that I just learned in a speaker program I'm in, is to write your, they call it your get booked bio. So what that is, it's a bio that's geared more towards you getting a speaking engagement. And so either one you can use, it's completely up to you. I don't have an example of a get booked bio yet, but I plan to do a little video training that outlines the different components. But the bottom line of having a get booked bio or a speaker bio is for you to put the pieces in your bio that meeting planners look for and have it put together in a way that you're not giving too much, but you're giving components that will really basically amplify your celebrity status, because that's a big thing to get booked. Is sometimes they don't even necessarily want to know how much you know, but it's more about who you are. And so that celebrity status, if you have the right pieces in there, which the Amazon bestseller is going to be a great piece to have in there for your celebrity status once this is done. So the 3 key pieces of that speaker bio is celebrity, credibility, and connection. And so to give you a basic rundown, what you want to do is make a list of all of your celebrity appearances. So if you've been on a TV show or a radio show or any publications, any kind of media you've been on, you want to make a list of every different possible thing. I know on my speaker bio, I was on the Morning Blend TV show in Milwaukee. Now it was just this little Milwaukee TV show, but it was an affiliate of NBC. And so on my bio, I put the Morning Blend TV on NBC. And so people don't necessarily know what the morning blend is, but they know what NBC is. And I'm not saying something that's not true. It's an affiliate or syndication of NBC, but it's just, how do you put those pieces on your bio that's going to really get you that credibility piece that you're looking for? So there are A, B, and C types of celebrity status. And so the higher the celebrity status, those are the pieces that you want. And in essence, the training that I took, they said that you want to have the 3 key pieces: the celebrity, credibility, and connection. And in each of those pieces, so that's 3 separate paragraphs that has each of those pieces, but in each of those paragraphs, you only want to take your top 3. So if you've been on 9 different media outlets, you want to take the top 3, maybe 4, but you don't want to overwhelm with so much stuff. You just want to have the ones that are going to be the biggest notoriety. So that's kind of the basics of it. I will take all of the notes from that training and I will put it together in like a little slide presentation and do a video for it with visuals so you can kind of see. And then I do have a couple examples to share with you as well. So I will make sure that I get that together in the next week and then post that in the author resource page. Other than that, I don't have any other updates other than if you know any other authors, just refer them my way. I've got quite a few people that I am interviewing this week, hopefully to get the rest of those positions full. But I really like to have author referrals as opposed to just other people finding us and wanting to join the party. Not that we don't like that, but I love having all of the referrals because that's more people that get to know each other. So those are the only updates I have. Does anybody have any questions about anything? No. Jen,
I have a quick question. So once we submit our draft in, do we get feedback on the draft?
So if of your story is what you're
of the story, yes.
A good question. So when you send your story into Jessica, she is just going to send it off to editing. Now, the editors that we use do not do editorial analysis, meaning they don't take your story and really give you a lot of feedback about the content. And the reason why we've never done that is because we want everybody's story to be in their own voice. Now, if they notice anything glaring or any like issues, they'll let us know, they'll let you know, and they'll give you suggestions. If you want help with the story piece of it, send it to me. I will be glad to read it and give you feedback. But make sure you send it to me before you send it to Jessica. And then I'll work with you to give you my opinion and see what we need to tweak and make things better. And then once we're done, then we'll get it to Jessica for the editing part.
Thank you for the clarity. I appreciate it.
Yep. And also keep in mind, once your story or your bio or anything goes to editing, you need to not do anything with it until it comes back from editing. Meaning, don't keep revising it, because now then we're going to have 2 working copies out there. So if you send it to editing and you realize, oh, I want to change this, make notes, but wait for that copy to come back from editing, then go ahead and add those changes to it at that point. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. So, and it will go back and forth multiple times to editing until it gets perfect. And if you have a story that has a lot of editing, what we typically do is once it's finalized, we'll send it to a second editor to make sure nothing was missed. Because quite often, if we're working with one editor and we're going back multiple times, they're not always looking at it with fresh eyes. And if there's a lot of work that needs to be done, we like to make sure another person looks at it just to make sure everything is caught. Any other questions about the process, editing, timelines, anything? Okay, well, then the only other thing that I want to take a moment and talk about is to see if there's any support that anybody needs. Now, Jen, you don't even have access to the author resource page yet. So I will, let me go ahead and put the link in here. And then you will get, I haven't seen the paperwork back yet, and you could have just done it recently. But once I grab that in the email, then I've got an email to send back to you with this link and that link and all these other things. So in the meantime, you've got the author resource portal link. Yay. All right. So what kind of support can I provide anybody at this point? Nothing? Everybody's doing good?
I'll just send you, once I get it completed, I'll send it to you. I would just love to get your eyes on it before I submit it in.
Absolutely.
Make sure I'm not totally off.
Yeah, no, I always read the stories at some point before we're done, but I would rather read them now before they go to editing, because once they've been edited, it's just, it's just sometimes better to work through some of the story timeline creation details first. So if anybody has that as well, just make sure that you give me a heads up and say, please read this before it goes to editing, and then give me a couple days to get to it. And then I will go ahead and get that back to you. You can look at it, review it, and then get that off to the editor or to Jessica for the editing. All righty. Well, I don't have anything else, and I don't want to keep everybody just to keep everybody, but I'm excited to bring on more authors. We actually have two other authors that just joined, but they couldn't make it today. Hopefully they'll be on the next call, as well as any other additional authors. And I think there's a couple women that have not ever joined the calls, but they're working on their story, but for whatever reason, Mondays aren't working for them. So hopefully we'll have one of our Mondays at some point where we'll get everybody together. Usually once the stories get written, that's when things start moving forward. And that's when everybody kind of like gets plugged in with the marketing. Right now, it's kind of more independent work. So but that's all I have. So I'm going to hang on. If anybody has any questions, support, anything that they need help on, I'm here. But other than that, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Christy, I think I have reception now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So I'd love to talk to you about Vicki if you have a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't know if anybody else had a question for you. I don't want to.
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything? No. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So I'm thinking about doing that strongly just because she asked me about it a long time ago. And I initially said no because I was supposed to be in LA. And now I'm free. So she thinks that she could get me picked up from the airport. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I'm just going to ask her and see if that's still a possibility, because that was the issue.
Oh, got it. So I just found out about it Friday. So Friday is the first I heard about it. So I have my little notes here on my desk that I haven't even looked at since we spoke on Friday. But when I talked to her, it looked pretty good except for one commitment. So I need to look through that and just kind of see, but it would be great. I want to just meet everybody.
It would be a great opportunity, I think, for you to get authors.
Well,
honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it could be. I mean,
totally.
I don't know how many people are coming, but depending on, the interest level, who knows what could happen.
Yeah. I don't know either. I think she's expecting a good number of people, though. It's a lot of women like us that are, looking to communicate and, experience life in the different ways. And I think you might have some budding authors in that group.
Yeah.
I'd talk to Vicki about that, but that's what my gut tells me.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah. And there's a lot of the women that are already authors with me, clients that I would love to,
exactly.
I just love the landmark people. I don't know if they're all going to be landmark people, but I just love that everybody has that mindset of constant growth and just, the thinking outside the box and how can we create together and support each other. I just love that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right. Well, let me know for sure if you're going. I'll let you know too. As soon as I get this figured out.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. And wait, so again, what airport would you fly into?
Oh, I'd go into Detroit Metro or whatever the one by shoot, it's not the one downtown. So whatever, they have two airports. So it's not, I don't think it is Detroit Metro. It's the gosh, the one in the suburbs.
So it's in Michigan, right? The Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They just have one that's downtown Detroit that no, I wouldn't fly into. And then there's one in the suburbs. It's like Chicago, it's like Midway and O'Hare.
Yeah.
Like I'd be flying into the O'Hare version, not the Midway version, probably.
Yeah. I know I pulled up the website. Oh yeah, here it is. So it's in Lexington, Michigan. So I still have the tab open on my website because I want to see exactly how many hours it is. I mean, if it's like 10 hours driving, I don't know if I could do that. That would be crazy.
I don't think it's that far for you. No, I don't think it's to be that far. For me, it is because, I'm practically in Jersey. So
I just have to go down around the lake. So
yeah,
it depends on how high up on Michigan it is. And I have a friend who has a house in Michigan too, but not that would be relevant because the camp you sleep at the camp.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I'm concerned about. I'm like, yeah, what are the rooms like, Vicky?
Well,
I don't want to sleep on the floor.
Honestly, for $249 for the whole thing, including food.
Yeah. I know. That's my only bit of trepidation. And I don't think they have a Marriott near there. So I don't think I can just stay at the Marriott because I have 1 million points on Marriott, but yeah, I don't think that's an option either.
I mean, I've stayed at some really cool, not a campground, but like really cool retreat centers that were just really basic, right? I don't need a lot of amenities. But one of the things that she said is they didn't have, as far as the food went, is they didn't have enough volunteers or people to like cook for us. And I'm just like, well, maybe we can cook for ourselves. If there's a kitchen, I'd rather cook for ourselves than because then they were talking about having food catered in, which means if food is catered in and we're only paying $250 for the whole thing, it can't be very good, healthy food.
Yeah, I'd rather get my own food too.
Yeah, I could sleep anywhere as long as it's clean, right? I just don't. I don't want to eat a bunch of like fattening, unhealthy, processed food.
Me neither. Yeah, no, I have to watch what I eat too. Same thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. But it would be fun.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's stay in touch on that.
Sounds good.
And then, do you want to get your story edited right away, or you want to kind of keep reviewing it, looking at it, making sure you got it refined?
I'm going to review it, but then would you mind looking at it?
Yeah.
Is that okay? That'd be awesome. I would love to have you get a different set of eyes on it.
Yeah. And then we talked that one time about doing the unique cover. Is that something that you're still wanting to do?
That is something that I'm considering. I have to think about it in terms of my budget and all that, but that is something that I find interesting because I have more than one story to tell. Like this is just the story that I'm talking about isn't really talking about my success in business. It's more about how my husband and how I was able to change my mindset and work on my marriage, and ultimately we saved our marriage. Yeah. And I think that's worth speaking to as well, because one of the things that happened to me in my marriage with my husband is I lost my respect for him when he lost his business. I was so angry. And I've had more people ask me to tell them how I was able to get my respect back from my husband.
Right. Yeah. So, because once it's gone, how do you get that back? I mean, it's right. Because, there's a lot of emotions. You still care, but you're like, well, why did you lose your job? And you're not a man, you're not providing for me kind of thing. Right.
Well, in his case, he lost his business and he lost everything. He lost his ability to provide. So it all fell on my shoulders, and I was pretty successful, but that's not what I had signed up for. So I was angry, because I always had this idea I was going to marry some rich guy and going to take care of everything. It didn't work out that way.
Right.
Dang it.
Right. Well, so
it did work out.
Yes, it did. It worked out the way it was supposed to. Let me know if that's something you want to do. The only thing I will say is it's not a different story. It's the same story. The only difference is we take the story and we put it to the front position, and then we designed a whole unique cover for you. And then it's your unique book on Amazon. So then we set that up so it goes into your account with your other books, as opposed to the one that you're in now with everybody. That one, it gets pulled to you like you're a co-author on it, but it's not like the royalties don't go to.
Oh, it is the same story.
Yeah, so it is the same story. It's just we have two books.
Well, if you ever change your mindset about that and you're allowed to create a different story, I would be interested in doing a different story if it was to be my own book.
The problem with that is we have to get releases. It just would be a lot of work. We have to get releases from all of the other authors. We have to go through the whole editing process again, and we have to make sure that they approve being in your story, and it's different than the other book. You know what I mean? So there's like the business model is just a way for somebody to have that second book as a yeah. So something then, I'll let you know. But right now it's basically taking the same content, reworking it. You add your intro, you add all of these other pieces, but it's still the same story.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's keep in touch about the weekend thing.
That sounds wonderful.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.